What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Zoe, No Days Off DFS, here to bring you that NBA slate breakdown for the 5-game main slate. As you can see, we got a ton of games going on today, but there's a 5-game main slate. Some of these, this Clippers, Boston, not on the main slate. Sacramento taking on the Spurs, not on the main slate. Brooklyn taking on Washington, I don't believe, Brooklyn taking on Washington is not on the main slate. Instead, we're going to be starting with the Golden State Warriors, Pelicans, Orlando, Houston, all those games. That's where it starts at for the main slate for tonight. That's what we're going to focus on. Not going to worry about those early games at all. If you're worried about the early games, I mean, shoot, football's on, man. Watch football. Why are you worried about it? Watch some football. But I'm going to go ahead and try to get this done real quick. I got some family and stuff in town. I'm going to go kick it with them and whatnot. But hey, you know, we still got some money to be made. So let's go ahead and let's see what we can do on today. If you guys new here, you guys enjoying the content, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so your boy can, you know, get this out here to more people so they can see what's going on over here on the channel. And drop a like on this video if this video or any of my other videos content is helping you guys win some money and you guys are enjoying what your boy does over here. Looking at the injury report for today, Golden State Warriors taking on the Pelicans. Zion Williamson, he's questionable. Hamstring, looks like it's pretty good. The Pelicans, they fired Willie Green. I do not think Willie Green was the problem. I don't. It's the players that you have, the training staff, the injuries. That's the problem that the Pelicans have had. They have never had a fully healthy season for any of their star players or any. They haven't. I mean, look at it. You're still waiting for DeJounte Murray to be able to come back and play. Jordan Poole, your offseason acquisition that you got, he's injured as well. Zion, he can't stay healthy for more than maybe barely 10 games at a time. But we're going to blame Willie Green. Willie doing what he could do. You gave away all the draft picks and shit. What is he supposed to do? I think coaches sometimes get a little bit too much blame for what they can't work with. And that's to be real. What they can't work with. That's just personally. And then also you need to look like the strength of the schedule. Look at who you're playing. Look who you're losing the games to. Come on now. Cut them some slack. Anyway, Golden State Warriors, they changed up the starting lineup. I like what they got going on with Will Richard and Moses Moody. It was time for a change. And then, of course, that boy, Jonathan Kuminga. They're trying to go ahead and ease that boy out of there. We already know Steve Kerr never liked him, doesn't want him over there. So that's not even surprising to see that he is pretty much out due to injury. Orlando taking on the Houston Rockets. Over here for them, Paolo, he's going to be out still. For the Houston Rockets side of things, really nothing that we have to worry about. Tari Eason, maybe if you cared about that. Portland taking on Dallas. Scoot Henderson is still out over there for Portland. For Dallas, PJ Washington is probable to be back. Anthony Davis is doubtful, and they do have Derek Lively back. Derek Lively is now back playing behind Daniel Gafford, so that's a pretty good thing over there for them. For the Atlanta Hawks taking on the Phoenix Sun, Trae Young is still out, and then for Phoenix, Jalen Green is still out as well, and Grayson Allen is actually out as well over here for Phoenix. So we got some pretty decent value over here, and we're gonna talk about that with the Phoenix, because if you watched my last time that Phoenix was on the slate, I did say something about this boy Goodwin right here. We called it out and he went out there and he smashed. Chicago taking on the Utah Jazz. Josh Giddey is probable to play, so he might be back, but his running mate Trey Jones is questionable to play, so he might be out. We might get Kevin Huerter slid right back into the starting lineup because that's typically who they slide in whenever one of Giddey or Trey Jones would be missing, just because, you know, he's a shooting guard anyway. And then Utah Jazz, Kyle Anderson is questionable, Georges Niang is out, and Hendrick is out. Head on over to DraftKings, the site I play the most on the site. If you guys don't have an account, you want one, check the link down in the description box below so you guys get the deposit match bonus and join your boy over here on the King. Orlando taking on Houston. We know they're without Paolo. We saw it last time out. Franz, he pretty much had all the usage. He was doing everything for them. 40 fantasy points, even with his little scare of him going to the locker room during that game. He is him. 8,700 though, going up against the Houston Rockets, which would be a tough matchup. This is going to be a tougher matchup for him. I will be very honest. I really don't think that the upside will be there for France at 8,700. I don't. You could probably dabble in the Desmond Bane, but I'm gonna be very honest. After the last time I played him and he dropped that 28.2 versus the fucking Brooklyn Shitters, I will not be playing Desmond Bane. I won't. You cannot pay me enough to play Desmond Bane, and I will not click on this short arm T-Rex looking big-headed muscular. I can't do it. I can't do it. But Desmond Bane, he is in an okay spot, especially if all the attention is going to France. We could possibly see him be able to pop off from the outside, of course. The playmaking, things like that he can do, definitely. But I would rather just come down here to Jalen Suggs, 6K. The minutes, he just needs to at least play about 30 minutes. Just give us the 30 minutes. We know he can actually play it, man. He's stuffing the stat sheet, getting rebounds, getting the assists. I think this rebounding is a product of no Paolo being out there. I do think that's what that could be right there. 6K is not a bad price tag at all for Suggs. At least he's playing close to 30 minutes, and he can go out there and give you almost a fantasy point per minute. The upside is real and it's there. For Paulo being out, they're starting Tristan da Silva. This 4,700 is not going to last long, especially if he can go out here and have back-to-back really great games. 37.8 fantasy points in that first game without Paulo in 32 minutes. Of course, that was versus the Brooklyn Shitters. Granted, the matchup is pretty good for him going up against them. Opposing power forwards going up against the Houston Rockets have not done too bad at all. PJ Washington 55, Jaren Jackson Jr. 30, Chris Middleton in his limited minutes, he had 17.75 fantasy points. Giannis, he dropped 52. Denny Avdia just dropped 40 on their heads. Tristan da Silva, I'm not going to say that he's a Denny Avdia or anything like that, but he is not a bad player. I do like the upside for the value that you can get right there. And then if you want to mess with players off the bench, you definitely look towards Goga. Wendell Carter Jr. having to deal with Alfred Sengun, not necessarily one that I'm going to shy away from. He is, of course, still playing the minutes. He definitely could be a potential option, but not a main staple that you have to get to. Going on over here to the Houston Rockets side of things, looking at them, of course, we know Kevin Durant, Alfred Sengun, Amen Thompson, those are going to be the main guys that we want to get to and look to over here for them. KD, I really don't feel like they have anyone truly that can be able to defend or guard him. 8,400. If I'm looking between Kevin Durant and Franz, I'm going to play Kevin Durant. He's at 8,400. 300 less than Franz. Why wouldn't I just go ahead and click on KD? I understand Franz, maybe better uses, but the matchup is tougher for Franz than it is on the backside for Kevin Durant. So you would take Kevin Durant instead of playing Franz if you were trying to get something from over here on that side. Outside of that, I really do like the upside in the spot right here for Amen. The size advantage that he has over both guards in Desmond Bane and in Jalen Suggs. Definitely we know he can't stuff the stat sheet. Not really getting the assist like what he was in the couple of seasons prior. Of course, with Sengun pretty much being like the offensive hub over here for them. But I still don't mind that. Definitely do think it's a decent upside position to spot. Jabari Smith Jr., he just continues to chuck away and actually look pretty good out there for them. I do believe that having Kevin Durant on this team was a positive influence for him specifically. Definitely don't mind him. 5,400, pretty good upside, especially if you can't get up to the man, to the KD. Sengun, he's there. Not a must play on today's slate. I definitely do think we can go to other spots in regards to centers, but definitely an option that you can get to. Golden State Warriors taking on New Orleans Pelicans. Steph Curry has finally turned back the clock and he's out there splashing threes left, right, up, down. You name it, he's got it. Opposing point guards going up against some high usage point guards. James Harden, 56. Shea, 44. Luka Doncic, 58. Drew Holiday, 41. Steph Curry, what he's going to go out here and drop? 40, 45, 50. 50, 60. I mean, if he's going to be shooting like what he's been shooting over here, and I mean, Fairs, he's an okay defender. He's not going to be able to stop Steph Curry, especially with all the screens, all the running around that Curry does. And I mean, for them to win these games, going up against the Spurs, and the Spurs took them down to the wire. Curry's had to do some things. You just got to hope that the Pelicans can keep this game close enough. This will be the first game underneath their new head coach. So some things we will have to see rotation-wise and see if some of those things are going to change and whatnot. But Steph Curry, definitely great spot. Good DVP matchup for him right here. Same thing for Jimmy Butler. It just depends on if this is going to be a game that Jimmy's going to want to get up to. Is Jimmy going to care to get up for this? I will say, if you don't want to play either one of the main studs, then definitely Podominski, he's going to get those minutes that burn and stuff off the bench, especially if the game was to be a blowout. Looking at the total right now, this is a 10-point spread or 228 total. So this one is the only double-digit spread on the slate so far, on the main slate over here for this. So definitely I can understand coming more down to some of the axillary pieces like the Podominski. I will say that Moses Moody and Will Richard, both of them being into the starting lineup. I don't mind Moses Moody. If he can actually shoot the ball, he can give you a decent fantasy point outing. It's definitely there. But this kid, Will Richard, I liked him when he was getting those spot minutes and was getting the upside in regards to his play before. And I do think that this could be another spot where we can actually go to him again, especially considering that he's out there. If the game is out of hand, he's going to still play even more minutes. I think the upside could be legit real for him, especially if he can continue to get the ball to fall, get the shots to fall. I just wish that he can actually give us a little bit more in the peripheral stats. Definitely an interesting value option that we can go to, and I don't mind it for the upside. Al Horford, of course, playing off the bench. You can mess with that if you want to. Buddy Hield, another one that I would definitely have some interest in, especially with no Kuminga, more usage for those guys off the bench. For the Pelican side of things, we do need to know if Zion is going to be in or out. If Zion is out, then I imagine that we'll continue to see the Saddiq Bey inside of the starting lineup. If Zion is back and in the starting line, then I would imagine that Saddiq Bey goes back to the bench. The only other thing to worry about over here would be really nothing else. That's really going to be the primary worry that we have over here. I know if Zion's back, it's going to be on the minutes limit. There's no way hamstring he's going to come out and go ahead and play 30 minutes or anything like that. Like that's not going to happen. Definitely wouldn't play him today. 8,900. That's kind of crazy, especially coming back from a hamstring injury. Instead, I would look more towards the axillary pieces. I will say that Fears looked really good in the minutes and games that he did play with Zion. I don't mind getting him 5,100. I mean, we did just see De'Aaron Fox drop 53 on their heads. SGA dropped 60. Jamal Murray 47. So Not saying Fears is on those exact same levels as them, but 5,100 is not a bad option, especially considering that he is starting, he's playing the minutes, and he can go out there and light it up and score. So I definitely don't mind going to my boy Fears. Outside of that, even with if Zion being back and Sadiq Bey going back to the bench, I'm still going to want to play Derek Queen over, because Looney is starting, but Looney is not truly playing center rotation minutes. Queen is playing the center minutes. I understand Looney going up against his former team. Ooh, maybe he gets, who the fuck give a damn Kevon Looney going up against the Warriors? I don't care. It's Kevon Looney, okay? Low uses Kevon Looney. Looney not about to go out here and give them a double-double on the head. And if Kevon Looney drops a double-double out here on the Golden State Warriors tonight, if Kevon Looney legit gets a double-double, I promise you, comment down in the comment section on this video, I will buy somebody whatever jersey you want from any player on any team for this season. I will buy, Kevon Looney gets a double-double, I got you. I will buy a jersey for whoever the hell drops a comment down in the comment section that Kevon Looney is, yeah, that's what we'll do. Hashtag Looney double-double. If you want to be interested in to get a Kevon, not a Kevon Looney jersey, but whatever jersey you want from the NBA this season or whatever, if Kevon Looney actually drops a double-double on the Warriors. I just don't see him playing enough minutes. He's out there just because he's a vet. He's starting. They're going to let him start versus his former team. Cool, great. Whoop-de-doo. It's still going to be Derek Queen's show. Derek Queen, and he also can play pretty well with Zion being out there. Love the upside, love the position, love the spot. I will go with Derek Queen for that any day. Outside of that, Trey Murphy, even with Zion being back, 7,700, really feel like his price didn't move while Zion was out at all, is kind of how it feels. But, of course, should be dealing with that Jimmy Butler defense. We've seen him be able to light it up, still with the best of them. Definitely you can mess with that, but more of a GPP option right there if you're looking at that side. Portland Trailblazers taking on the Dallas Mavericks. Drew Holiday, really great spot for him, 7,300. Love the upside for him here. I would definitely be playing him over Denny Avdia. Not saying this is a bad matchup or a bad spot for Denny, but I just the price 8,800. I need Denny to come back down sub 8.5. 8-3, 8-1. That's why I feel more comfortable playing Denny Avdia again. Instead, I'll be looking towards Drew Holiday and Shaedon Sharpe. I think these are really two great spots for both these guys right here to have some upside. And I really do like the price for Shaedon Sharpe. It just seems like his price, again, I think I said this last time, it just doesn't move for what he can go out there and do and the upside that we can actually see for him. Outside of that, Devon Clinging centers going up against the Dallas Mavericks. For whatever reason, they've been able to crush, even though they have really two great athletic bigs. Daniel Gafford, Derek Lively, with him being back. And then there's one more center I want to talk about over there for their team. But Big Zoo, 46.75 fantasy points. Mark Williams, if he actually would have cared to shoot more or do anything rebounding wise, he could have had a really smash of a day. But 25.5 fantasy points for him over there. Miles Turner, he dropped 30 on the heads. Alex Sarr, 41. So the upside is definitely there for Clinging. He just has to play the minutes and just be somewhat semi-aggressive. Definitely don't mind him as a cheap value option if you want to get kind of crazy on the slate. Going on over here to Dallas, because we do know that Anthony Davis is going to be out. Of course, we're still going to have PJ Washington, Max Christie, all those guys starting. At the end of the day, my boy Brandon Williams, he's still starting. 5,600, okay spot going up against the Portland Trailblazers. I definitely do not mind going over here to him. I did lose a couple minutes last game out going up against the Clippers, but definitely don't mind going to him at 5,600. That is a good spot for him, especially if the game can stay close enough and he doesn't lose any of his burn and his minutes. I mean, D'Lo just actually had it going on. They rode the hot hand in this one. Just because D'Lo dropped 43.5 on the Clippers last game doesn't mean I'm about to go run and flock to D'Lo. Still couldn't shoot for shit for his threes, but he had it going on with everything else. That's cool. Long as my boy Brandon Williams is in the starting lineup, I'm looking towards Brandon Williams as a potential play. If they don't start him and they decide they want to go back to D'Lo, 5,600, I'm not willing to pay that. I'll wait for him to actually get the start, and that'll just be that. Then instead, yes, I will pivot down here to D'Angelo Russell. If he gets the start, he has to start for me to even have some type of interest in going right there. Outside of that, with PJ Washington, he's going to be back. Anthony Davis doubtful. They finally dusted off Najee March to like really gave him some burn run, and he rewarded it. Definitely 5,200, okay value option right there. But again, he's going to be playing off the bench. Minutes upside, it is there. You can definitely mess with that. Max Christie sitting at 4,900 seems to always be the forgotten Dallas Maverick player. 49, not a bad option right there, but definitely if you can find like 500 more, go get my boy Derek Queen. That makes more sense right there. The center I want to talk about though is our boy Muse. He's playing and giving you over a fantasy per minute. I don't know how Dallas keeps finding these really great athletic centers and what they can go out there and do, but they got another one right here, 3,600, even with Lively being back. 11 minutes, 18.2 fantasy points, even with Lively being back last game. I like it. little sneaky option that you could probably get if you're making multiple lines. I definitely could see the upside and just taking a chance right there on that one. That would just be that for me over there on that side. If you guys haven't hit the subscribe button, make sure you guys go hit the subscribe so you guys don't miss any of the sauce and stuff your boys dropping over here on the channel. And drop a like on the video if you guys are truly enjoying it. Don't forget about that jersey giveaway. If you guys are wanting to win whatever jersey you want, if Kevon Looney really gets that double-double, that would be just wild. All right, looking on over here to Chicago, take on Utah. If Josh Giddey is 100% back, no minutes limit, and he's good to go, then I definitely don't mind, of course, clicking that 9,700 for Josh Giddey. We know what he can go out there and do. Triple-double upside. He lights it up. He kills it, and he's just a beast when he's out there on the court. If Trey Jones is in, I like Trey Jones. Really great spot, 6,600. We've seen it opposing not small forwards. Shooting guards going up against the Utah Jazz, they have legit crushed all the way from Ant dropping back-to-back 50 burgers. Neesmith, he went out here and he dropped 39 on their heads. Nikhil Alexander-Walker just dropped 33 on them. Derek White had 35. Grayson Allen dropped 40. The shots falling. We know he can play making stuff like that. And to me, he kind of played a little bit better with Giddey being out there. I like the upside. But if he's out, that's even better to me for someone who will shoot, who chucks, and play some pretty decent defense, Kevin Huerter. So either way, whoever is playing at 2 guard today for the Chicago Bulls, I like them. I like the upside. It's a really great spot. Besides that, this is one of those spots we can go back to my boy Buzelis. The rebounding upside will be there for him in this matchup. The scoring upside will be there for him in this matchup. The last couple of power forwards that have gone up against the Utah Jazz, I got you. Jalen Johnson. I'm not saying that he's Jalen Johnson level. I'm not saying he's going to get us to 92, 100 fantasy point outings, but 92 fantasy points for Jalen Johnson. Julius Randle, 53. Isaiah Stewart, 26 fantasy points. Miles Bridges, 45 fantasy points. Royce O'Neal, 28 fantasy points. Denny Avdia, 39 fantasy points. Buzelis, what you gonna give us, man? What you gonna give us? Upside is really gonna be there for him. I like the spot. I don't mind going towards him as a potential option. And then, of course, if you want to mess with it, Big Vooch, he's right there, 8,100. It's a mid-level play, but definitely you can go ahead and take that. Utah Jazz over here for them. We already know it's Lauri Markkanen. Yusuf Nurkic, this is a pretty great spot, even though he is going to kind of get pulled out of the paint. We know how that's going to go. But the fact that Vooch stuffs the stat sheet is kind of helpful. The assists that he can get, the rebounding upside, the scoring, the fact that he will go out there and get a double-double. 6,800, the price is climbing on him, of course, because we know he is the actual starting center over here for them, but I don't mind going over here to Big Vooch. Outside of that, Keyshawn George, we know opposing point guards going up against the Chicago Bulls. That was the spot we were attacking with or without Giddey. I mean, we just saw Jenkins, 45 fantasy points. De'Aaron Fox, and I think that was his first game back, 31 fantasy points. Donovan Mitchell without Darius Garland, 50 fantasy points. Royce O'Neal, 43. Maxey, 6. I'm not going to have to go down the line. It's all green. It's all really great DVP matchup for Keyshawn George. And that's even with Isaiah Collier being back, who is playing off the bench and playing some pretty solid minutes off the bench, might I add. If you're looking at it, a nice, weird parlay piece because it's been close to plus money. 6 assists for Isaiah Collier. Really great spot. Definitely don't mind going over there to that. Lauri Markkanen, like I said, going up against his former team, I don't really have to talk about Lauri Markkanen. If you want to play Lauri Markkanen, you play Lauri Markkanen. It's a good spot. It's a great spot. He can smash it once again. Outside of that, GPP option to me, you definitely can mess with Savima Hyluk. Ace Bailey, he's starting. He's playing really well out there in the starting role. This is one of those spots where he could go out here and crush it. 5,200 is not a bad price at all, especially after the back-to-back good games that he has had, and the more confidence that he is getting out there, I definitely don't mind taking a sprinkle of Ace Bailey if you can get up to the Lauri Markkanen or the Keyshawn George over there for them. Last game of the slate, Atlanta Hawks taking on the Phoenix Suns. For me over here, Ricochet, Dyson Daniels, Kristaps Porzingis, all these guys are going to be in contention and play. Jalen Johnson, he is there. He definitely has rightfully so earned it. 92 fantasy points last time out. He has cracked the 9K price range. It's an okay spot for him. I don't mind it. I'm not necessarily flocking and running to go get him, but definitely if you are looking for a pretty good late night hammer, you want some security, I can see you taking Jalen Johnson as a potential option. But I will say, just come down a little bit and go ahead and take Lauri Markkanen if you are looking at that spot. I would take Lauri over Jalen Johnson. That's just my 2 cents. Opposing power forwards going up against the Phoenix Suns. Whatever reason, they've actually been kind of keeping them in check over their last 8 or so games. Granted, none of them have a usage as high as what Jalen Johnson does have. The only closest one to that would have been PJ Washington, but I want to say he got injured in that game and didn't play more than like barely 10 minutes or 6 minutes or something like that. So definitely you can mess with that right there. If you're gonna fade him, Dyson Daniels, Kristaps Porzingis, those would be the guys that we're gonna look to. KP, of course, he's gonna be back. They rest him on the back end of back-to-backs and things like that. So I don't mind him, the stretch big ability that he has. You're gonna be dealing with Mark Williams. I would expect for him to be back for this game. Mark, drop big. Not gonna really care to come out there to guard Porzingis out there on the perimeter. So definitely that would be a spot. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, he's cooking, he's rolling. Definitely don't mind getting to him. And then of course, like I said, Ricochet. He goes under like the radar, but he can go out there and score. He can do some things. 5,300 is not a bad option or price for him. On the flip side of things, looking over here to the Phoenix Suns, like I talked about it, man, our boy Goodwin, he probably will be getting the start. And last time out, 31.8 fantasy points. We called it when he went out there. And I was telling you guys, like, the minutes have been pretty stable for Goodwin, and he's been playing some pretty great ball. I definitely think that's someone that we should keep on our radar, because we were seeing Goodwin's minutes were going up while Collins Gillespie's were going down. Granted, Collins Gillespie 23 minutes, but the production went to Goodwin last time out. I would imagine that it's either going to be Goodwin or Collins Gillespie. One of those two guys is going to get the start for Grayson Allen being out right there. So I don't mind going to either or as a potential play. For you, whoever starts, of course, they'll be your better value option. Whoever is coming off the bench, that's going to be your GPP option that you can take over there for those guys. Devin Booker, of course, the usage is going to be sky high, but you're going to be dealing with the Dyson Daniels and the Nickeil Alexander-Walker defense. So definitely would make some sense looking for some pivots. But I will say, opposing point guards going up against the Hawks have cooked. Like literally cooked. Harden dropped 72 on them. Keyshawn George had 39. Luka Doncic dropped a damn 50. Mon Quickly dropped 40. So Booker is not out the question, but yeah, just temper expectations. All right, guys, let me give you guys a real quick dirty core. All right, so we talked about some pretty good value pieces already on the day, and actually one value that we could go ahead and get, and that's if my boy gets to start, then I definitely don't mind just going ahead and locking a good one. Gives me my late night exposure. That upside, that spot is already just going to be keyed into the line. Going on over, let me see, if actually, you know what, if our boy Josh Giddey does play, I think he can go low owned. No one's going to want to necessarily click on Josh Giddey coming back from injury, missed the last couple games, and then uncertain in regards to his minutes. This is just GPP right here, guys, so just work with me on it, but definitely could see the upside for Josh Giddey. Instead, if you want to, you can go with someone else like Steph Curry, who's right there. You could just pivot down to instead. Definitely in a good spot going up against the Pelicans. You could just switch to that right there. But Josh Giddey, I like the upside, like the spot. Could be pretty interesting, spicy if you do go right there in that interest. And then outside of that, Drew Holiday. I think, of course, everyone wanting to play Denny Avdia instead. I think this would be a good spot, of course, with Drew Holiday. I already talked on that in regards to why I do think this is a pretty decent option for you to get. And then last but not least, let's go with a center. We can go with Nurk at 68. That's not a bad option right there. Derek Queen, my boy Queen, 53. Going up against the Warriors, that's a pretty good spot. But let's go with Dirty Nurk. 55, 5, 25, whatever. Pretty good in regards to what else you can go ahead and build around this lineup right here. I definitely do like it. Upside, pretty decent. You can get you another value player too, and then be able to fit another mid-tier option into this line right here. Definitely worth it to me and my eyes. If you guys are new, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button so you guys don't miss any of the sauce, the stuff your boy puts out over here on the channel. Drop a like in the video if you guys did enjoy it. Good luck on your NFL Sunday. Don't forget, it is Sunday. Make sure you guys go out there and do what? Touch some grass. I'll see you guys on the next one. Drop down in the comment section. Looney, double. I got you if he gets it. Peace.